In today's video tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a simple but beautiful buttercream hydrangea cake design. Okay, so what I'm starting out with today is a double barrel cake. It's a 6-inch tier. It has a cardboard cake circle halfway up with bubble tea straw supports beneath. And of course you can do the hydrangeas on any type of cake or sheet cake, but this is what we're using today. I've frosted it with our Fluffy Vanilla Buttercream recipe. Any favorite vanilla frosting is fine. And then I smoothed mine on the turntable as I rotated it with this straight edge. So this happens to just be a comb on one side, straight edge on the other. Just swirled it around, and I like to put it in the freezer to firm up so I can just fine tune the edges and get it nice and smooth. And now we are ready to start working on the actual topic of the tutorial, the hydrangeas. Okay, so here I have a piping bag that I've fitted with a 2D piping tip, and I'm gonna fill the bag with the colors of our hydrangea. We're gonna do pink hydrangeas today, so I wanted to have some color variation. I'm using pink on one side of the bag, and it's okay if it's not exactly half and half, just as long as both of the colors come through in the end. And then the other side, I'm going to put some white. Like that. Push everything down. And you can just check on your paper towel or whatever and kind of squeeze your buttercream out until you can see both colors. Now that both of our colors are coming through the piping tip, I'm going to go ahead and start our hydrangeas. And so basically I'm just going to go at it straight on so that the piping tip is perpendicular to the surface. And we're going to pipe our hydrangeas around the top front of the cake. Okay, I just did that, but we're going to cover that with our leaves, so that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to go in. Now, you can either just do a straight-on star like this, or every now and then, probably what I'm going to do more often is I'll start piping and then I'll just do a slight turn. It just gives a little bit more shape and kind of curve to the petals. And really with hydrangeas, it's a really forgiving flower because all of the little petals kind of overlap and are kind of piled on top of each other. So it's okay if all of your piping isn't uniform or perfect, because in the end it's going to look really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to let some of them come a little bit up past the top edge of the cake, and you can see I'm sort of stacking here and there, stacking the piping on top of each other. I don't want to bring it out too far because I don't want it to become too heavy, but maybe like a couple of piped flowers on top of each other is okay. Okay, so just kind of make it as large as you like. I think this might be a good place to stop. And you can always go back and add more. And then I'm just going to scoot the cake, turn it just a little bit to the right, and I'm just going to do another flower. So I'm just going in and just doing a slight turn to the right with my piping tip. Okay, so you can see that I'm just continuing to do more of the same. I refilled my bag, and so the second time around I had a little more white in the bag, so this hydrangea is a little bit lighter, but it still has some darker pink little patches here and there. And that's fine because that's kind of how it is in nature too. So I just wanted to make sure I had some color variation. Okay, so I'm just taking my hydrangeas just barely on top, but if you wanted sort of larger mounds of hydrangea, that would be pretty too. And at this point, I'm just kind of filling out any hydrangeas that I think need more dimension. Like if you wanted it just a little puffier, you can fill out the center a little bit more. But I think these look pretty. Okay, so next we're gonna do just some really simple leaves. I am not using a leaf tip today. I'm just using my piping bag that I've snipped the end away. So just sort of like a medium-sized opening. And I have Wilton leaf green that I'm using today, but you can use your leaf color of choice, or you could just do a combination of greens. And the look I'm going for is almost like a palette knife painting leaf. So I'm just gonna pipe the basic shape, and then I'm gonna go in with my spatula and kind of thin it out. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go in with my piping bag, and we'll just do a basic outline of a leaf. And then I'll fill it in. And you could just leave it like that if you want to, but I'm gonna just go in with my spatula and kind of thin it out a little bit and just give it a little more texture. And then as I reach the point at the end, I'll just kind of lift off and away. Okay. And then I'll do another one, just coming straight down. It's almost a heart-shaped leaf, but not quite. Okay, and then we'll do another one. So I'm just going to continue on. I'm doing some that go straight down and some that are sort of angled to the side. Okay, and just as a final touch, I'm going to go in again with my tip, let's see, tip 4. And just barely apply pressure because I want just to make some tiny little dots. Just spaced out around the bottom half of the cake. Okay, so our cake is finished. I love how this turned out. I think the hydrangeas are so pretty. And as you saw, they're not difficult to create. So I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.